everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. We've got a good one on tap today. There's going to be two quarterbacks ready to get it done on the gridiron. It's the Marshalls going up against the Saints. With that, let's get over to the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans. Here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Thank you very much, Larry. As usual, the streets of the nearby French Quarter are alive as we are in downtown New Orleans at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. Today, we've got a Week 6 matchup for you here between the San Antonio Marshalls and the New Orleans Saints. They come up in an offset eye. First down, Prescott. It's caught left side by Cooks. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. The headshots here are the offensive unit, and what about Brandon Cooks?
If he's not a 1,000-yard receiver every year he's healthy in the league, I'll be surprised. Came out of college wanting to be a pro, studied all the best receivers in the NFL before he even got to the league.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Making the stop there, Danielle Hunter. And let's look defensively at the starters.
Calais Campbell is one of the tallest defensive ends in the league. Has the ability to get low and play the run, and adds excellent kick blocking ability.
Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5.
Here we go.
Prescott from the gun on 3rd. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. Nothing doing on that one, and it'll be 4th down. Here comes the Saints punter now. He'll kick it away after a 3 and out on the opening drive of the game. Fielded just inside the 20. 51 yards on the punt there. And that will come the offense as they take over. Now Jones. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Everything about that play was beautiful. A great corner route where the receiver worked the defensive back inside and then broke back to the outside to the corner. But how about the throw by the quarterback? Anticipation on the break from inside to outside. He threw the football. As the receiver turned around, the ball greeted him.
They go play action, and no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Stephon Anthony coming in from that outside linebacker spot. He gets him down for a loss of 5. So the defense has put them in a tough spot. It's 2nd and long. Throwing, Jones, underneath for Johnson. Evades the tackler, and now some space. Touchdown! David Johnson, his 4th touchdown on the year. And his guys have taken a first-quarter lead. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who is a complete guy who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how the defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, get a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
If they open things up, let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together. Now they'll run it on the toss. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
In today's NFL, you hear all the time about stretching the field and creating space in order to run plays. A toss play will help accomplish that because now you're pushing a defense to chase you all the way to the edges and to the sideline. That's a nice run. Probing now early to try and get things done later.
They come out here in the eye. Now a handoff here to his running back. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47. Give the tackle there to Danielle Hunter.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
An extra defensive back in the game now here for 3rd and 4. Prescott from the gun. He's going to flip it out here to his running back. And he lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
Here we go.
Now a play fake here on first down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field, it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch it. Doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
And they give this time to the tailback. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down. Well, there they went blitz defensively, Charles, and things were paved well coming from the linebacker position.
I love the way that you described it, paved well. Oftentimes, the guy who gets home on the blitz, he's going to get all the credit. But his teammates did all the dirty work, right? They ran into people on purpose. They sometimes tugged on jerseys to hold linemen to create space and gaps. And that play finished off really, really well. Well conceived, well designed, and even better executed.
He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up the first down.
And they'll get 17 yards there, and it'll be first down Saints.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit, but how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Let's go.
Here's the option going right, and he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd. So the defense has put them in a tough spot. It's 2nd and long. 1 receiver left, 2 to the right. 2nd down, Prescott. And Bryant's got it over the middle. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. Having an effective short passing game, one of their main concern coming into this one. Right there, able to hit the D with a quick strike and a first down.
And you're able to put that into your game plan when you see that there's space to throw the football. A lot of defenses don't want to play press coverage or tight coverage. They'll play backed off, and sometimes those cornerbacks will bail out really fast and really get deep, and that allows you to throw the quick game underneath, and they took advantage of it.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2. They're on the march, but facing a 3rd down here. And this seemingly endless drive continues. They come up in an offset eye. Here's Prescott. And that is incomplete. Now, they've got to be a little frustrated here to not complete that on third down after having such a long drive going.
Yeah, you're talking about going over 70 yards on the drive. Yeah, did you say a little frustrated?
Very frustrated.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm very frustrated. There's no doubt about it. They thought they were going to have a chance to cash in the end zone. Now it looks like it's likely a field goal attempt.
And, Charles, they get the field goal. Took them a dozen plays, though.
Work with me on this one. You know what I'm about to say, right? Bend but don't break. That's what came into play here for the defense. 12 plays were run at them. They only gave up 3 points. In a lot of ways, that's a win for the defense.
So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. 7 yards to go on second down.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
And he's brought down after a good gain. That one goes for 24 yards. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let them know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
It'll go as a gain of 12. And it's good enough for a first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Back to throw now on first down. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. So 2nd and 10 here. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Dancing to his left. And avoids the contact by sliding. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be third down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
And he's got his man in stride, complete. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10 to the 7. First down coming there on the intermediate passing play. That's been a point of emphasis, they told us in practice, using those medium routes to keep the defense off balance.
And it wasn't just them telling us. We got to watch them practice it and work on it because they've been trying to fine-tune it and get it right before this game. And I think they have to be happy with the result.
Now Jones. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super tough.
They run the counter now on first down. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack. And it's third down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in.
In a double coverage, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. But we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
Oh, I don't know. I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on, come on.
Fine. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. And he'll give it here to his running back. No gain on the play there. Second down.
No gain on that run. And while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about different style of running in order to get this guy going.
Prescott now on second down. He's got time. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
So here we go now. An extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. On third down, it's Prescott. Looking for Cooks, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line. Now this offense ready to head back out there. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Throwing Jones. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. Second down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
On second down, Johnson. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line. Brief break in the action here. We're back to New Orleans after this. This defense hasn't let them in yet. They'll need to stiffen here. 3rd and goal from the 2. The Wildcat to Johnson. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. David Johnson with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. Able to punch it in on 3rd down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating, will we have to make the call? They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
They'll come out in the pistol. A second down throw for Prescott. Over the middle, open is Thomas. And he's brought down after a good gain. A good pickup there at 22. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels.
Here we go.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there.
Let's go.
2nd down, Prescott throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Dez Bryant, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
On 2nd down, Prescott again. And Bryant's got it over the middle. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Defense really showing respect to the deep ball here, playing off the receivers. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He lost 6 there on the first down play.
Well, that was well defended. And as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it.
Hey, Charles, you give me a water. Jeez, Chuck, they cut off the halftime show again. Quicker than anticipated, ready for the start of the second half. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. So here they come, the road team now getting the football first to start this 3rd quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spend the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers. There's usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they will just roam and hit.
Escaping the pressure right. Right side, caught Fedorowicz. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Let's just make this one simple. Could he be any more open than he was on that play?
Yeah, they lost him going to the outside.
Hard to believe because you go through your accounting on each and every defensive snap. Who's got who, what defense you're in. That was totally a blown coverage. 3rd and 5, so they bring in an extra defensive back.
An expecting pass. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he's brought down after a good gain. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
Now Jones. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. Fresh set of downs here. They go play action here on 1st down. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
It's always tough trying to keep your guy upright when he's trying to throw the football. When you're dealing with those big, bad guys on the defensive front, it's even tougher. And this time, those guys on the opposite side won the battle, getting to the quarterback and knocking him into an incompletion.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. They go back to the ground with Johnson. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Calling about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Letting one go deep for the end zone. And incomplete, almost intercepted. Had a great shot of picking that off in the end zone. And now 4th down. And Catanzaro's kick is right through. And that will stretch the lead up to 3 touchdowns now. It's a 21-point game. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, but the net gain, 3 points.
And you're going to have drives like that in this league. Sometimes you just got to take the 3 and move on. Always better than nothing.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And it's knocked away and incomplete. Brandon Cooks, the receiver he was going after. That'll bring up 2nd down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave them with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. 1st level defensive line, 2nd level linebackers, 3rd level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a 1st level run, and it was stopped by a 2nd level player.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. It's complete to Flanner. The pickup of 11, and it moves the chains.
It is hard in zone coverage to stop a curl route because when they see it, they just try and find the open spot and sit down.
Yeah, we always talk about finding the soft spot in the zone. What's the key to doing that? How do you do it?
You have to read what the coverage is. Is it 2 deep? Is it 3 deep? Because then you know where the linebackers are going to drop, what spots on the field they naturally get to, and you find that open space, and then you're in sync with your quarterback. He should be reading the exact same thing, and they put the ball right on you.
A second down throw for Prescott. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Deone Bucannon. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. Now this offense ready to take over again. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Stephon Anthony in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
A reverse is never called just to get 1 or 2 yards. It's often called to get a big, big play. The defense was having none of it on that one. They sniffed it out and stuffed it.
Throwing Jones. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I'm hearing my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities. I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge, whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football? If they do that.
And now here is another interception. A great read, and it's picked off. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. And here now the offense heading back out there. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing. And they got it done.
Come on, let's go.
They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And he'll go down at the 28. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
Let's go. What? None. What? None. What? Mike, big spot. Check spot. Mike.
Back now here live in New Orleans. They come out here in the eye. They'll set up to throw. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. And some changes here as the D-line separates some.
Let's go. What? None.
The direct snap to Johnson. And incomplete here, so a little razzle-dazzle on that one, but they couldn't hook up, and it's third down. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. He'll drop to throw. And some room to work. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And he's got his man on the out route. 7 yards to pick up on the pitch and catch.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. Back to throw here. Surveying the field. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down. 7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Now Jones. That's complete right around the 8. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball.
Then he's into the end zone for the receiving touchdown. C.J. Fedorowicz, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. They had the lead in the 4th, but still passing. Finding the big target for the touchdown. Now that lead grows even more.
Everybody gets to join in the fun. You know, it doesn't have to just be the wide receivers catching touchdown passes. The tight end doesn't just have to do just the dirty work inside. He gets a chance to get into the end zone as well.
Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Here to his running back. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
To throw is Prescott. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. Whoa, shifty. Whoa. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
And they pick up a first down, and that came out of the fullback position. But as you and I both know, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a fullback playing in that spot.
Well, times have changed, right? The old school fullback doesn't really exist anymore.
We're not getting that same player out of college. With all the spread offenses, not very many pro style, where you actually have a true fullback. We're having to make do in the NFL and put guys in that spot who emulate it but aren't necessarily that position.
Now Prescott. Over the middle, it's Thomas. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line.
Love the call by the offensive coordinator, recognizing the situation very well, calling for the play-action pass, and completing it.
So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. From the red zone now, Prescott. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 2nd and very short.
Looked like the screen pass was taken away there, and that was a nice job of improvising, but it's not normal. Usually when the screen pass is taken away, you're taught to just throw the ball at the ground at the feet of the receiver so that you don't get it intercepted and just start over, but he ended up finding another receiver.
Well, a well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through, and that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle. And only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8.
Every team we ever talk to that continues to run the ball in a game, even when they haven't had much success, all talks about attrition, don't they? If you keep running it, eventually good things are likely to happen. It's been a hard go in this game today, hasn't it?
Yeah, this defense, they met pretty much every challenge in front of them this afternoon.
They're still trying to run the ball, but they're not finding much space. Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. Again, we'll see the pistol here. Here's Prescott, and he's going to be swallowed up and taken down. Sacked back at the 5-yard line. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Maybe one final chance here to make this a bit more respectable as they'll go for it on 4th and goal. They come up in an offset eye. Prescott now, and it is incomplete. They're turned away on 4th and goal, and the ball will go over on the goal line stand. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. They'll come up now in the Wildcat package. They come into enemy territory, and I don't care what the matchup is in the National Football League. You're up like this late in the game on the road. This feels pretty good.
Oh, it feels fantastic. Anytime you get a road victory in the NFL, that's a big-time accomplishment, and to do it this convincingly, that just tears up the script that every home team has, which is nobody comes into our house and pushes us around. They took care of business today.
Yeah, they pushed around, and now the final stages of this one. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
They'll run it. Here's Peterson. Only a yard of the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down.
But this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain.